Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into something I think we all ponder quite a bit, financial wealth.
Mm.
You guys sent in some excellent resources that really lay out the fundamentals, so we're going to use those as our jumping off point to, kind of go beyond just knowing what financial wealth is and explore, what it actually means for us.
Right.
So how can we use this knowledge to build a strong financial future?
Yeah, I like that.
All right, so you shared a piece that really breaks down the components of financial wealth,
Mm.
cash, investments, real estate.
Yep.
But before we get into those specifics, what were your initial takeaways from these sort of classic definitions of financial wealth? What really jumped out at you?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that those textbook definitions are important. Like they give us a foundation,
Right,
you
yeah.
know? But to me, the real magic starts to happen when we go beyond just listing assets and start to connect those definitions to our own individual lives.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what does financial wealth really mean to you? Is it just about the numbers in your bank account, or is there something more to it?
That's such a good point. And it reminds me of a friend who actually, inherited a substantial sum of money
Yeah.
a while back.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember talking to them afterwards, and they were still so stressed about money.
Mm,
And it really struck me because you'd think, right, having all that cash would just solve all your financial worries.
right.
But it clearly didn't, it wasn't that simple.
Exactly. And that's a perfect example of how, you know, financial wealth isn't like this magic wand that just erases all your problems.
Right.
Like it's more nuanced than that. It's about how those resources, that wealth, can actually translate into tangible benefits.
Yeah.
Like a sense of security, like the freedom to pursue your goals, the ability to make choices that align with your values.
Yeah,
And that looks different for everyone.
totally.
So it's really about figuring out what those things mean to you. Like what would financial wealth enable you to do?
Such a good question for all of us to think about.
Mhm.
And it actually brings us perfectly to those components we mentioned from that source you shared. Cash, investments, and real estate.
Yeah.
So let's unpack these one by one and maybe start with the most basic one, cash.
Okay.
I mean, we all know it's essential for emergencies, right?
Mm.
But it's got to go deeper than that, right?
Mm,
There's more to it than just having a rainy day fund.
totally.
Yeah.
Imagine knowing that no matter what life throws your way,
Mm.
like a job loss, a sudden car repair,
Yeah.
you can handle it without going into debt.
Right.
That kind of peace of mind, like knowing you have that buffer, it's priceless.
Yeah, it's like a safety net.
It is. It is. And that sense of security can have such a positive ripple effect on other areas of your life too?
Right. And I bet it can lead to more freedom to maybe take risks in other areas of your life,
Absolutely.
like changing careers or starting a business, like knowing you have that cushion.
It really frees you up to be more adventurous.
Yeah.
All right, so then moving on to investments. This is where the power of compounding really comes into play.
Right.
Even if you're starting with small amounts, investing consistently over time can lead to significant growth.
That's the whole, time in the market beats timing the market idea.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, got to ask the question, though, what about the risk? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, even if you're in it for the long term, can't you still lose money if the market takes a downturn?
That's a valid concern. And yeah, there's always risk involved with investing.
Right.
But, if you look at market history, you see that over the long term, it's generally trended upwards.
Mm.
So the key is really to understand your own personal risk tolerance
Right.
and make sure your investment strategy aligns with that.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, and then last but not least, we have real estate.
Yes, real estate, which, by the way, the source we're looking at kind of focuses on the traditional way of thinking about it, like owning a house.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other ways to get involved in real estate investing these days, right?
Absolutely. There are things like REITs,
REITs, those are.
real estate investment trusts.
No.
And REITs basically allow you to invest in property
Okay.
without actually having to go through the hassle of owning and managing it yourself.
That sounds interesting.
It's like buying a tiny piece of, say, a shopping mall or an office building.
Oh, you see.
You're participating in the real estate market, but without all the headaches of being a landlord.
So now that we've talked about these individual pieces, let's kind of zoom out and look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
And, the source we're using really emphasizes net worth as a key metric for measuring financial wealth,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically your assets minus your debts.
Yep.
But is net worth really the only measure of success when it comes to, our financial lives?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Right.
It brings up this whole idea of financial well-being, which is a much broader concept.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it. Is someone with a high net worth but who's drowning in debt,
Mm-hmm.
are they truly wealthy?
Good point.
And what about someone who chooses to prioritize experiences?
Yeah. Travel over, material possessions. They might have a lower net worth on paper,
Right.
but arguably they could be living a much richer and more fulfilling life.
So it sounds like we're saying that financial well-being encompasses security and freedom and really aligning your life with your values.
Exactly. And it's not just about chasing a number. It's about creating a life that feels good
Yeah.
on your own terms.
And that's why I think this deep dive is so important for everyone listening.
I agree.
Because understanding these concepts, these different facets of financial wealth,
Yeah.
it helps you make more informed decisions about spending, saving, and investing.
It empowers you
Right.
to take control of your future, your financial future,
Right.
and ultimately achieve your goals, whatever those may be.
So we've really gone beyond just defining financial wealth, haven't we?
We've explored what it truly means and how it all connects to our individual lives and aspirations.
Yeah, and how we can use these ideas to, live better, more fulfilling lives. Absolutely. And remember, building financial wealth is a journey, not a destination. It's about making choices that align with your values.
And defining what financial wealth means to you.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up here, I encourage you to think about what you've heard today.
Yeah.
Explore what truly matters to you in terms of your finances. And remember, we're here to support you every step of the way
Always.
on that journey to financial well-being.
Yes.
All right. Until next time, everyone.
Take care.